the reason of relation between ideals and democracy in the Mediterranean area after the Arabian Springs. A lot of people judged 5 years ago Arabian Spring in Mediterranean and the Middle East as a new page of history. Now we saw the ISIS advance, the terrorist attacks are a part of answers to this new world. So it's not easy to have a clear message. And this is important also in this country, in my country, in every country. What is the strategy from Far East to South America in a moment in which the things change very deeply and very quickly? You must study. You must accept the position of find not simply a compromise between two different positions, but a strategy, a new strategy around the world. The second, believe in your country. Believe in your continent. Italy today is a bridge. Is a bridge, geographically, is a bridge from a lot of years, because it's a bridge between Europe and Africa. The geographic conformation of Italy showed that. But I think the strategy of our government is to create a bridge between the Euro area and Europe institution and Africa. It's not easy because for a lot of years, entrepreneurs, cultural men, politicians believe Africa only the place of development support, international cooperation. Let me be very clear. I have a special thanks to the people, men and women, who work for international cooperation, international development in this country and in other countries. They use a great courage and a great patience and a great ideals to find, to build a different world here and in other countries. So it's absolutely important to continue in this direction. And when I was last month in June in G7 table, I was very sad because after 10 years of mistakes also by my government, by the government of my country, we reduced the presence on ODA, and in the table of G7, Italy was 7 on 7, not a great result. I make a very important commitment. And in the next G7 in Italy, will be in 2017, Italy will be 4 in this ranking. Because we come back to invest in international development, international cooperation. But please, and we have a lot of things together to Kenya, and we discussed also this morning with the President Kenyatta about it. But please, Africa is not only the place of international cooperation. Please, Africa is a great possibility for the next world. Africa and Kenya economy is one demonstration. Grow up if finally we invest in a different approach. Africa is rich of materials, of products, of quality, but above all is rich of values. And if the next world will be the world of values, you are in pole position to create a new strategy. So it's important to continue in the ODA. It's important to continue in international development. It's important to fight against poverty. But the real reason for which I believe Africa will be crucial in the debate also in Europe is because I'm sure in the next 20 years when we will be also politicians, also culture professor, people, leader in every case, when in the next 25 years we will build a different world in which Africa will be the leader and not only follower. This is the reason for which I try as Italian government to create a bridge. This expression of the conference, bridge. Italian economy is very able to build a bridge because we have a great experience of engineering. Dam, we signed a very important dam today in State House. We have a great experience in infrastructure, so we believe a lot in the infrastructure as a great opportunity to invest in a new world. But I believe today is important a bridge, not physical bridge, ideal bridge between Europe and Africa. And our mission is exactly that, create this bridge. To create this bridge, we combine together the present and the future. Just to make an example, a terrible example for me, the migration question. In my government, in my country, in my parliament, there are a lot of polemics for the approach of Italian government to migration. We discussed a lot also in the European institutions. Because there are a part of people who consider a mistake to continue to save life in the earth of Mediterranean. The reason for those guys is that if we continue to save, this is a pull factor. And the people will continue to risk their life in the sea. You know, the problem who come from Eritrea decided to leave Eritrea not because read Italian newspapers and follow the Italian public debate. They escape from their situation. They risk the life a lot of times, above all in the deserts, in Sudan, in Libya. When they arrive, and the Italian government receive 91% of migrants from the coasts of Libya, but the first nationality is Eritrea, not Libya. The second is Somalia. When we receive these people, obviously, there is the debate, because a part of my public opinion said, it's impossible to continue to save. We save human lives, and we continue to save human lives on the sea. We try, because we believe in human values, because we belong to human race, and because nothing, no poles could refuse a century of civilization and values and ideals for my country. I feel the responsibility to represent a country of values. And so if there is a man who risks the life, if there is a woman who risks the life, we try to save. Then there is the problem. What is the strategy for the future? Continue to risk on the sea? Obviously, the real challenge is fight poverty in their country. We built a different approach in the African regions, in the African countries. But this is the symbol of a necessity to bring together present and the future. If really I want to stop this risk, I must build a different world in the region of origin. But for the moment, the question could be used for a demagogic approach. This is a symbol Obviously, we can transform the mentality of European people about it. When I was mayor, I was very happy because I decided, I was mayor of the very beautiful city, Florence, and this is the symbol of crisis. In Florence, in the past, there were Machiavelli, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and then I became mayor. This is a symbol of decline and of the crisis. Please, not applause. This is. When I was mayor, I used my mobile to fight the very important problem in my city: the people who doesn't pay the ticket in the buses. I was very proud for that because it's a great challenge. The problem in a city are obviously the great ideals and the great problems, but also very concrete. The holes in the roads, the cleanness on the streets, and obviously the people who decide don't pay the ticket in the buses. When I present this great innovation first in Italy, okay, we can pay, finally, the ticket with the mobile. 95% of journalists present in press conference for the first time use expression very positive. Oh, great, finally, it's a great idea. Good idea. Good, Mr. Mayor. Only one journalist, 5%, told me, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, this is not an innovation. If you stay in Kenya, there is a technological innovation, M-Pesa, for example, who is very better than you. Because you pay the ticket for the bus, okay? But in Kenya, with M-Pesa, you can pay not only the buses, but also a lot of things. So, I hate your country in that moment, because I'm really happy for the results of my administration, and I was quickly destroyed by this journalist. But this example is important for me to give a message. The technology could be a great asset for you. So it's important to continue to ODA and international development cooperation, and we increase the money on this field. But at the same time, you have the possibility, using the brain, using the innovation, to come back with more determination than the other parts around the world. And I think this is exactly the great challenge today. We live in an interconnected world in which no region is an island. Your challenges and our challenges and your achievements are our achievements. We live in a global society in which all you need is a simple device, such as a mobile phone to connect to a web, and the relation to span of thousands of kilometers and different cultures. But the problem is nobody could supply the physical relation. I'm very happy for 2 million of people who follow me on Twitter, or for 80,100 people who are my friends on Facebook. But for my quality of life, the problem is maintain my real friends, the friends of my past, who are fortunately the friends of my present, and I'm sure also my future. Because the new world offers a lot of opportunities to be friends of 80,000 people around the world, 2 million on Twitter. But you can use those opportunities with the traditional values. This is the point. And this is the point for which universities are more important than political powers to build a new world. Obviously, the decision